we're talking about really cultivating aliveness and what it means to get the energy to keep going, to keep doing this work, to keep, growing, healing, expanding our capacity, waking up. How did Ken Wilber put it? Like waking up, growing up, showing up, and cleaning up, right? The four main practices that we're always engaged in. So here are the consciousnesses we develop. If we're going to really get in touch with our aliveness, you develop a sensations consciousness. You get very, very good at tracking the physical experience of being in a body with non-resistance and with non-attachment. And I'm going to say that about every single one of these. We don't resist anything and we don't attach to anything. We watch it from a space of neutral, compassionate. I always prefer compassionate witnessing. Some people prefer neutral witnessing. You do whatever you like. I'm going to say compassionate witnessing because I'm a big, big proponent of the practice of loving up everything that you find inside of yourself. And that's the foundation for learning how to love up everything you find outside of yourself. And that's just tied to my personal deep belief that love heals. And if we're here for healing, we need to learn how to bring love. So sensations consciousness is really about tapping into what is happening in my body and listening, being deeply, deeply attuned to my physical being. When am I tense? When am I relaxed? When is it tingling? When is it burning? When is it aching? When is it a stabbing pain? When is it butterflies in my stomach? When are my feet going cold? When are my eyes twitching? What is happening in my body? You just get very, very aware of it. And meditation practice can be very, very useful in getting more connected to your body. Your body is one of the main sources, or no, not sources. That's not true. Your body is one of the main holders, containers for the trauma in your life. And if you want to free yourself from all the ways in which you've been traumatized, you drop into your body and you feel it to heal it, which brings me to number 2. Feelings consciousness. You develop an exquisite feelings consciousness. Your feelings are the energy moving through you. Okay, this is how life force moves through you, is through your feelings. These are the things that tell you your filters, your perceptions, your interpretations, how you're taking things, whether you're taking something personally, whether you're afraid of something, whether you're predicting something bad, whether you're excited because you're predicting something good. Like your feelings tell you about you. They tell you about your aliveness. They tell you about what energizes you and what deflates you. You want to pay attention. When I'm around this person, do I feel relaxed and inspired? When I'm around this person, do I feel wary and tense? Pay attention to your feelings. That is a massive source of aliveness. Third, we're going to develop a needs consciousness, which everybody that almost everybody I believe in this group knows exactly what I mean when I talk about needs consciousness. Your feelings, the aliveness of your feelings tells you about the aliveness of your motivational system and your guidance system. Or some people like to think of it as divine life energy. Some people like to think of it as source energy, tapping into universal energy. Whatever language works for you, use that. Throw away any language that you find triggering. So you develop a needs consciousness because I want to know what it is that my being is longing for more of. And that is a radical, radical shift from getting entrenched in the thinking of what is wrong and what shouldn't be here and who's to blame and who should be shamed and what do I need to control, which is exhausting. Your aliveness will not come from that consciousness. You will not feel more alive. You will feel self-righteous. You might feel angry. You might feel powerful. You might feel depressed and depleted, but you're not going to cultivate real, wise aliveness in that consciousness. So you develop a needs consciousness. What is it that is needed? And how do I get my energy in alignment with reaching for what is needed? And that is going to emerge from inside of you. It's not going to be something outside of you. And then I'm going to invite you to develop a new kind of consciousness that we haven't spoken about before, which is beauty consciousness. And what I mean by beauty consciousness has nothing to do with the fucked up marketing, advertising, propaganda machine out there. I'm talking about the consciousness that there is beauty in absolutely everything you look at, and really training yourself to see beauty in every body type. When you look in that mirror in the morning, when you walk into your bedroom and it's a revolting mess, I want you to work on seeing the beauty in the mess. I want you to see the beauty in a decaying tree, the things that you might normally see as ugly or rejectable. I want you to really work on cultivating a beauty consciousness. You will feel much more alive when you begin looking around you and seeing beauty. And that is for me, a pretty deep spiritual practice, the beauty consciousness, seeing beauty in a conflict, seeing beauty in the pain, seeing beauty in tears, seeing beauty in things that, might be countercultural. Okay, let me just have a look at my notes, because those are my 4 things that I really wanted to do. Oh, so you're going to work on meeting needs. Meeting your needs is going to cultivate aliveness. We talked about that at the top of this month, right? If you're tired, rest, you'll get more energy. If you're hungry, eat. That is a way of fueling yourself. So physically, take that into the metaphorical and the symbolic. If you're lonely, seek out company that will energize you, right? So meet your needs. Give yourself permission to take your needs seriously and meet them. And then, what does this say? I wish I had made these things bigger. Oh, and then always greet yourself with grace and compassion. That's part of beauty consciousness, by the way. When I can look at the shit that I do in my life and laugh about it instead of going to shame, and laugh not in a mocking, scornful, defensive way, but in that sense of like relaxing into being imperfect. The part of like relaxing into, oh goodness, this is what it means to be a human on the planet, right? Greeting yourself with a lot of grace and a lot of compassion, and finding a place of shared humanity instead of getting uptight and judgmental and critical. And that's just exhausting. I highly recommend you practice your way out of that. And then the final thing that I'm going to leave you with for cultivating vitality in your lives, cultivating aliveness in your lives, is an invitation to start speaking out any secrets that you might be keeping. Okay? And here's what I mean by that. When we feel like there are parts of ourselves that we are not at peace with, parts of our history, parts of our experience that we cannot talk about, it takes a tremendous amount of energy from your system to contain it and repress it. And if you really want to free up your inner being to have access to deep energy, you will be able to talk about everything. That shame will be detoxed. Okay, that shame will suck your energy. Secrets are going to suck your energy. The unspeakable will suck your energy. And so in order to be fully alive, no more secrets. You say the things that you are afraid to say. You reveal the things that you are afraid to reveal. When somebody accuses you of being selfish, you go, why, yes, I am. When they tell you that you're clingy and dependent, you're like, let me go find that part of me. Yep, I probably am. Let me find that. They tell you you're emotional and overreactive. You're like, let me find those pieces in me. There's nothing to defend because there's nothing wrong. These are things all human beings do. And part of reclaiming our energy is making peace with that, right? So when we speak out the things we're ashamed of, we invite intimacy and connection instead of numbness and fear. And so I'm going to invite you, and this is not a discussion, you don't have to say it to anybody here, but face the unfaceable. What are the secrets you've been hiding, even from yourself? What are the things you don't want to look at in yourself? I want to invite you to just try on the idea that there is nothing in you worthy of shame, and that there is nothing wrong with you, and that there's nothing about you that is unlovable. And all the parts of you right now that are going, yeah, except for this, that's what I'm talking about, those things that you don't think can be loved, okay? What hidden parts of your life are you terrified to reveal because you're afraid of being rejected? What part of your story do you not want to look at or talk about because you're afraid of making something worse, or you wish it wasn't true, or you're trying to be in denial? Those things are going to suck energy. So if we're on the subject of cultivating aliveness, those are things that I'd invite you to find someone. Find someone. You can call me. You can set up a personal session and tell me, we are going to do half an hour, Yvette, of me telling you all the things I'm not going to tell anyone. And I need you to greet me with kind eyes. And I will promise you that will be one of the easiest things you will ever ask me to do. Okay. So if you don't feel like there's anyone in your life who can do that for you, then you can use me. All right. So you just set up a personal session and you do that. But I would venture to say that most of the people in this membership program will be able to do that for you. And most of the people that you meet here are doing that practice together. So draw on your community, find your empathy buddies, say it, say these things, and join everybody else in being messy and perfect humans, because this is so much more energizing than trying to be some kind of a performance art that has to be perfect and curated. It's exhausting.